Hello and welcome to this video about my custom built Sigue Sputnik CD collection. These are as per the singles and I shall go through them, but there is quite a lot to get through, and I shall show you some of the originals that I still have. So I've just picked out a selection just to show you exactly what the originals look like and what my copies look like. So here we have the first box, which is for the Flaunt It singles, and they've been done as per the singles. Obviously here we have the motion picture soundtrack version of Love Missile F111 12-inch. On the side we have Sex Bomb Boogie, the German remix of 21st Century Boy, and the different OBs for Sigue Sputnik's Love Missile F111. I've made a couple versions of this. Originally it was a black and white newspaper advert, but I've actually done it as a full colour one now, and I've done that with a couple of others which I shall show you as well, the original advert and the colour versions that I've done. So that's the outside of the Flaunt It singles, and then on the inside we've got Martin in his rollerball outfit, which is regarding commercial break, which this was an advert for the Albert Hall concert. Then we've got Yana as the robot for the Flaunt It advert. This was also a newspaper advert. We've got the sticker for the censor for the Sci-Fi Sex Stars 12-inch, and a massive retaliation sticker, and the uncensored Sci-Fi Sex Stars. And then this was taken from the cassette version of Flaunt It, which the initial releases came out with the extra 12-inch. So we start on the singles. Love Missile obviously is going to be the predominant one with Flaunt It because of the sheer amount of variations. Now there is silver painted labels, there's the black Parlophone paper labels, you've got the Parlophone, you've got Marconi, Toshiba, Manhattan in the US. So there's so many variations, you couldn't possibly do it. So I've predominantly gone with UK releases or imports that were available in the UK. So there's the original 7-inch. And then we go into my box set. And what I've done with these is I've actually done these onto the vinyl type CDs. If you do that, make sure that you get 70mm wide printable area. Anything less than that and your printer is likely to spit them out and not print them. We've got the CD single version now of the UK 7-inch with its Parlophone paper label, and they are black both sides, so it's like the single. Obviously you can't do both sides of the label, so what I've done is I have a sheet here with the A side and a sheet with the B side of the record. I have the colour poster, or a mini version of the colour advert, and the original poster in a miniature size. So that's the 7-inch, that's the original UK issue 7-inch. Oh, next we have the US 7-inch. It was actually quite a darker blue, and as you can see it's got the old Manhattan logo, and the same with this one, it's got the Manhattan label. And then I've got the A side and the B side, and obviously because it had a huge hole in as a jukebox type, I've put the middle in. This was actually this mix, it's a different mix of the single. It's the one that had the slightly inferior replacement sound-alike film clips, you know, and that was mainly a sort of knee-jerk reaction to copyright. Then we move on to the Japanese 7-inch. Now this was the same as the Manhattan 7-inch mix. There it is in Japanese. Now this is actually a proper Japanese 7-inch and not a copy of the UK version that looked Japanese, which is actually a different OB. The text is different. And there you can see the catalogue number. Now I do have the records over here. These are from original singles, so you've got the A side the B-side, and the Japanese lyrics sheet inside of it as well. Move on to the UK 12-inch. Now this was done in the pink OB. Now what I've done with these, purely because when I first started I didn't think I could get both sides of the label on, purely because you can only print on one side of a CD. So what I did with these is, Love Missile specifically didn't have a track list on the back. So I've added the track list on the back of these in the text from the B-side label, so I didn't want to lose any artwork. There's very little deviation from the original singles. So you've got the label for the A-side, the label for the B-side, and on my CD all I did, as I say, there's a little few variations, is the UK one was the only one that wasn't in the same colour on the label as it was on the OB, all the rest matched. So I've made mine marginally more dark pink just to match the OB for the 12-inch single. Now we go on to the UK 12-inch with the Japanese OB. Now this is sort of a UK version of Japanese, and it's not the actual Japanese copy, but this again is the Ultraviolence mix, UK issue with the Japanese OB. You've got the blue label for the blue OB, and you've got the A-side and the B-side in Japanese. And I've just got the actual Japanese one just so you can see the difference in this one here is the UK version in Japanese, and this is an actual Japanese copy. The next one obviously was the Russian one. Now you can't see this, but I have these are actually on the outside. They're held it's self-adhesive printer paper just so that they don't fall off, and instead of doing the opening at the side I've done mine at the top, only because I didn't want everything rolling out of the packet. But other than that it's exactly the same. The Ultraviolence mix in Russian. We've got the little mini posters and the OB advert, the CD, and the A and the B side of the label. Next you had the Bangkok remix, and this is the Spanish orange OB. And as I say, to keep the authenticity, the OBs are actually on the outside, and there we have it in Spanish. And the same with this one, it has the mini posters, the orange label, front and back. Finally, for UK issued OBs, you have the German, and that was on the green one, and so we have the green label on the record, and these have got grooves in so they look like vinyl, as you can see. You've got the green label and the A and the B side. Then we come on to the Japanese ones. So I've got the original Japanese 12-inch here, as you can see, S14138, and you can check the catalogue number. It is absolutely a genuine Toshiba EMI copy. Now this OB in Japanese is, as you can see, I'm just moving it a little bit, it's over the top of a English one, which I'm not going to remove, but it's in English in blue on a 12-inch, and I think that's the only place it appeared in English in blue on a 12-inch. Toshiba EMI. Now inside, which is why I'm showing you the original 12-inch, it came in one of these U-shaped, you know, wider at the top, round at the bottom, a U-shaped poly sleeve, and also had a lyric sheet in, which came in Japanese and English. Now this has got quite discoloured in a circle over the years, now thanks to Photoshop and scanners. I don't have to worry about that anymore. So that's the original 12-inch, my mini version, and along the top, because the Japanese versions actually had quite wide spine, there's a little very tiny white edge with the catalogue number. It's almost impossible, it's so small to get it along the edge, so what I've done on mine is just bring it down a bit here, just really tiny. But anyway, there's the Japanese 12-inch, my version of it. I have, as I say, put the obies over the outside, but they are actually, and there is a blue English one underneath this. I'm not taking it off, but inside what we've got is we've got a picture of the A side, S14138, and the B side we've got the lyric sheet, which I've now cleaned up all the discoloration, and we have my single in a U-shaped poly sleeve. The mix on this one is the Ultraviolence mix, but it is the same as the Manhattan one, again with this slightly inferior sound-alike movie clip, and then it was the same with the Japanese Bangkok remix. Now these aren't actually the same, just in red, because this one was actually in English and this one's in Japanese. And as you can see, you can check all these catalogue numbers, S14143. This is the Japanese Bangkok remix, and for some reason it's in Spanish. Don't ask me why. And there we go, S14143, and we've obviously got the A side, the B side, and the lyrics sheet for that one. Then, as I didn't want to mess up the original Japanese 12-inch that had the blue OB, which is physically printed on the 12-inch by the way, and then the Japanese OB's around the English one. So what I've done here is I've made an extra disc, and this is, as I say, it's a bit difficult to get it in, but it's there it is in it's Japanese. It's got the same as the other one with the lyric sheet and whatever, S14138. So that's the Japanese 12-inch Ultraviolence mix with the English OB. Then finally, for the ones with the OBs, is the exceptionally rare to find French version. Now this was done in France by Marconi, and for some reason they decided that France was going to have its own. We've got English, we've got Russian, Japanese, Spanish, so France decided they were going to do their own and do it in French, and then lovingly misspell Sputnik. So I think they possibly stopped doing these green OBs. Finally, for Love Missile, obviously we got possibly the best one, the original motion picture soundtrack. Now this came with 6 free posters and a sticker around the outside. Now, as I say, for authenticity, I've actually made this as a sticker on self-adhesive paper, so it's not even just glued on, it is a real sticker. I scaled it down a little bit just to not cover up too much of the cover, but I wanted it as per the original. So inside this one we have Love Missile F111, the trailer mix, video mix, actuality sound, and Hack Attack dub, which didn't say dub on the label. But you've got the A side of the label and the B side of the label, and then obviously what you had in here was the 6 limited edition prints, which also had a piece of green paper. So I've made the text slightly bigger, the proportions are slightly different, only because you couldn't read it, it was far too small. So you've got Sputnik, Martin Degville, Tony James, Neil X, Ray and Chris, and Iana. So there's your 6 posters.